I wanted to ask something else that threw me, like something like the homestead. Like you mentioned a couple of other things that have come in, like because of the pandemic. Like, what are other things that are out there that can support people if they're not sure?
Um, well, with the pandemic, people were laid off, and the government did step in, but it took them about a month, 6 weeks before that first check came in. And if somebody owes a credit card payment, most people don't know if you miss a credit card payment, the interest typically goes from that 15% to 30%. I was an economics major. At
Oh,
30%, your base debt is going to double every year and a half. So if you owe 5,000 at 30% interest, it's going to be 10,000 in a year and a half. It's going to be 20,000 a year and a half from that. That's why it takes 24 years to pay off at minimum payments, because for the first 12 plus years, you're just paying off that interest. And that's where people get in trouble. So as much as the government really helped, and I appreciate everything they did during the pandemic, if it took them 6 weeks to get that check, if their check was 2/3 of what they normally made and they're living check to check, it didn't help. So that's when somebody, and if they get behind, that's why I tell people, if you get behind on your credit cards, it's a snowball effect. You'll almost never get out from under them. That's why you always want to at least pay that minimum payment so they don't jack up the interest rate.
now in terms of like so basically you're saying that you sounds like you almost like a therapy session with the client that's saying, hey, if your debt is stressing you out and you can't afford to pay it, they should come see you because ultimately all they're doing is adding stress on.
I admire people, but a client of mine who was an old friend, he was my financial advisor for years. He was a CFP, and in his mind, bankruptcy was the wrong thing to do. It was against his politics. It was against his religion, and he was the one who he ended up losing his house. He blew through at least 30 years of very hard-earned savings before he finally came to me broken, saying, I can't do it anymore. And I realized all your debt I could have made, and I made him debt free in 4 months. But I go, we could have saved your house. We could have saved there was no nobility. Nobody patted him on the back saying, hey, we're so happy you did this, because he had to start over. So that's when someone should come see me. And if he decided, had he talked to me 3 years prior, he still could have said, no, I want to do it this way, but he would have at least had the information. That's when they should see me. And yeah, it is a bit of a therapy session. Thankfully, it's become more and more common. And it's after this pandemic, there's going to be an avalanche. People are going to be in very good company when they do this. So it's not going to be a dirty little secret. It's hopefully going to be out in the open that a lot of people are doing this.